Hello, welcome again to another week of storytelling. And this week, I want to tell you the story about a husband and wife. And this is called The Hell Hacking Wife. Then the story goes like this. There was this lady, her name is Ken Mary, and her husband name was Ken Esau. When we say Ken, that means cousin. So Ken Esau would always go out on the weekend and he would go out into the woods and he would hunt for coon because Ken Mary would always tell him, will you go out in the woods and hunt for a coon? I want me a coon to eat. And so he would venture out in the woods every weekend and come back, guess what, without the coon. And Ken Mary would become so upset with him because he would return home with no coon for she to eat. So this went on for a period of time where she just got so upset with him. She just aggravated him about that coon. And so when he went out again, she told him, now I have had enough of this, Esau. All those coon out there in that woods, and you mean to tell me you a man with a gun and can't come back with just one coon for me to eat? Well, I do declare you such a sorry man. So Ken Esau went on out there in the woods and he hunted from morning till almost sunset. No coon again. So he returned home again and no coon, just to hear Ken Mary start fussing and going on and belittling him. And so he just sat there and took it all in. And so the next weekend came around and he decided that when he grabbed his gun and he looked at the dog, he said, come on, red boy, probably you're going to help me find a coon. So Ken Mary stood on the porch and said, Esau, I'm depending on you today because I have that taste for coon in my mouth and I want me a coon. So he went on off in the woods and red boy falling behind him, the family dog. And so as time got near for the sun to set, there was no coon. And so he looked at Red Boy and he looked up to the sky and he said, God, forgive me for what I'm about to do. Please forgive my sin. So he shot Red Boy, the family dog. And he skinned Red Boy because he did not want to go back home and hear Ken Mary complain and belittle him again. And he took Red Boy back home and Ken Mary was so delighted. She was jumping and she got her water boiling and she took the coon and she chopped it up, so she thought, and she seasoned it good. And when supper time came, they sat around, she called the children, they all sat around the table and they was eating. But guess what? Ken Esau wasn't hungry. So they ate and ate until her stomach was full. And so all the family members, they were having a good time eating. And so when it was time to scrape the bones up into one plate, she went to the door and she began to say, call for Red Boy. Red Boy, come on here, Red Boy. Come on here, get these bones. And no Red Boy came. Oh, she called Red Boy never showed up to eat. And she said, I don't know what happened to Red Boy. And so Esau said, well, Ken Esau said, well, why are you calling Red Boy when you just sat down to the table and you ate Red Boy for supper? She turned around and she said, oh, chillin', honey, hawk, chillin', hawk, hawk, chillin', honey, hawk, chillin', hawk. So from that day on, Ken Mary never bothered Ken Esau but bringing her anything out that woods to eat. She truly learned a lesson. And Ken Esau was relieved because he was tired of her hell hacking him. Until next time. Now, if you like this, please share and please don't forget to subscribe so that you know when my next video comes out. The end. Bye-bye.